The greatest way for one to live with honor is to be who they pretend to be. Socrates. When I was 10, I carried a gun. When I was 10, I carried a gun. This is a story about how HILL Top Crip HTC was born. The Hilltop was a rough neighborhood when I grew up. It wasn't always rough as it was when I grew up. The Hilltop is located in Tacoma, Washington State. Washington State is located at the very top of the map, and then you would go over to the very left part of the map, and that's our state, Washington. And Tacoma is located in Washington, and Hilltop is located in Tacoma, and that's where I'm at. Hilltop, Tacoma, Washington. When I was 10, I carried a gun. When I grew up on the Hilltop, I was raised in a house with my mother and my two sisters and my mother's two younger brothers. I was the middle child, so I have a sister older than me and I have a sister younger than me. Growing up in Tacoma, I went to McCarver Elementary, which was also located on the Hilltop. McCarver started on 21st and J Street all the way to 23rd and J Street. Every day I come home from school, I'd have a whole bunch of people on my porch. All the kids from the neighborhood, some kids from my school, some kids from other schools. When I was 10, my aunt lived down the street from me and I went to go visit her, play with my cousins. I had a cousin about a year younger than me and another cousin that was maybe 2 years younger than me. When I go over there, I noticed that guys started coming around. And it seemed like he had taken a liking to my aunt. But I didn't care for the guy much. And one day, they were in the room together. And I could hear my aunt screaming, "Stop! Stop!" So I went to the door and I knocked at the door, but all I could hear was my aunt saying, "Stop!" So I tried to push in the door, but I couldn't open the door. So I quickly ran out the house, ran to the man's car, grabbed his gun, came back inside the house, busted through the door, and pulled the gun on the man. When the man seen that I had a gun in my hand and it was his gun, he started to come towards me and he said, "Stop!" And then I tried to pull the trigger. And I said, "That's exactly what she was saying to you." When I tried to pull the trigger wouldn't launch. True story. When I was 10, I carried a gun. Growing up, my mom always threw us birthday parties. My sister's birthday was 2 days after mine, and she was 5 years younger. So I invite everybody in the neighborhood to my birthday party. I went to McCarver, so a lot of people in McCarver were invited that went to McCarver. But mostly I would invite people in my neighborhood. I lived in the Hilltop, in the heart of the Hilltop. I used to hang out with all kinds of people, but mostly we would go to the corner store, the Bashi's. That's right on 23rd Street, where everybody hung out at, especially the kids from McCarver and the kids that sat on my porch. We played all sorts of games on my porch. We used to get them up, play Mercy, play cards and gamble for food, for clothes, for accessories. We did all sorts of stuff. And it was deep. It was always at least 10 kids on that porch. My mom lived in the streets, some people would say. She used to work on K Street, and K Street was where all the taverns were. She also did drugs, and she sold drugs. And the kids that sat on the porch would see that I would always have a pocket full of money. And I got to go to all the places that most kids didn't get to go to. Like, for instance, on Fridays we go to late night, on Saturdays Skate King, and on Sundays the Rialto. Everybody in McCarver would try to go to Friday night, late night. That's what you did if you were from the Hilltop. McCarver was a school that was made up of colors of teams, and each grade had colors. You had your yellow team, your orange team, your blue team, your peach team, your red team. I was on the blue team when I was in the 4th grade. I went to McCarver from kindergarten to 6th grade. I was pretty much raised on the Hilltop all my life. We moved to Washington State in 1978. I remember a girl in my classroom in McCarver asking me why I always played with the boys and I never played with her. Never played any of the girls' game. But I pretty much ran that recess field in McCarver. I played anything I wanted to play, and I was pretty good at it. Tetherball, soccer, baseball. But this particular day, she wanted me to twirl her jump ropes. So first recess, I twirled her jump ropes. Second recess, I twirled her jump rope. The next day, she asked me if I wanted to play jump rope with her again, and I asked her would I get a chance to jump this time, and she said yes, she'd give me a chance. But when we played the first recess, I got 5 minutes to jump. This year I was having a big, huge talent show, and I performed Glamorous Life, Sheila E. Fur coat and all. When I was performing, this guy stood up, said, "Who is she? Where did she come from?" The entire school started laughing. I mean, like everybody on the Hilltop and their moms were there. I later on found out that the guy's name was Bernard Houston. He was older than I, and so he never seen me at the school. He also lived around the hilltop, so shortly after that, he started coming to my house every day. Every day I would see Bernard. We quickly became good friends, and from morning to night, Bernard would sit on my porch and hang out with me. Bernard had a crush on me, but I just looked at him as a big brother at first because he was older than me and I didn't think he would be interested in me. I invited Bernard to my birthday parties because I always had birthday parties. So Bernard came to my birthday party in 1984. After that, he never left my porch. It seemed like every single day we would be together. We'd go to the waterfront, go to the mall, go hang out anywhere and everywhere. He was a part of the crew, like everybody else that was on the porch. One year, I had a birthday party, 1985, and a new kid that came to town from Washington, D.C. His name was Michael Jeters, he said. And Michael was real bow-legged, but he had an East Coast fade. You can tell that he knew about fast city life. So I invited Michael to my birthday party. I told him he can come. He said I asked my mom, so we went down to ask his mom. When his mom seen me, she asked how old was I gonna be because I was so tall. I had told Michael I was turning 13, but I was really gonna be turning 12. Ever since that day, Michael Jeters came and sat on the porch, and he just fit right in. He became a part of the crew too. Now, Michael was new in town, but his mom would let him come and hang out. So if we went somewhere, I said Michael can go, we'll bring him back, and she'll let him do that. And Bernard, well, he didn't really get out much, but when he started hanging around me, he wanted to go too. So one time, we all went down after that 1985 birthday party. We decided to go to the Rialto that weekend. We got to the Rialto, they were fronting, trying to stunt, not used to being out, and they were talking about what they heard about my mom. My mom sold drugs, my mom was on drugs, and Mooney was down there, and Psych, he was new in town, Bernard, he ain't really get a chance to hang out, but I had to let him know that, hey, don't be hating because I got money, you know what I'm saying? And I told him that they're gonna be sitting on my porch even if I wasn't sitting on my porch. You know, I turned up on them. I was real mad about how they was trying to front, you know, and I told Bernard he ain't gotta come back, and I told Psych I didn't even know him, and if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't even be up inside of the movie theater. So I was with the girl from around the corner, Cuckoo, and we were gonna go out to Telecom. She was gonna go meet her friend. So I followed Cuckoo out to Telecom, and I do believe it was Sunday evening. And by the time we got to Telecom, I don't know where her friend was, but somebody took us to the post, and we was on post, and after we were on post, she ended up with some other guy that wasn't her friend, and another guy, and then we ended up with some other post, until we ended up back in Tillicum and some other guy. And so when his sergeant came, he started trying to talk to me, and one thing led to another, and one day led to 30 days. So they tried to report me and Cuckoo as runaways and all that stuff. Anyhow, all of that stuff pretty much came back to the house, back to Tacoma. That some girl at the house was in the barracks sleeping with all kinds of military guys, but it really wasn't me. So when we got back to the porch, everybody was asking who did what and what happened and why did you guys leave and all that. Now I didn't say much because I knew what had happened, but I didn't really want to speak on what took place. So after that, me and Cuckoo kind of stayed away, and I really wasn't in the mood to see any of them. I mean, Psych, or Michael Jeters, and Clown, Bernard Houston. It really pissed me off. They knew that we had went to Tillicum, but they wanted to know which one of us was with all the guys. And I told him that I was with one guy, he was a sergeant, and he was over all the other guys, and I'm not sure what she was doing because I wasn't with her when I went with the sergeant. Then I told him that the sergeant still wanted to see me and was still trying to talk to me after I told him my real age. When they heard that, they were down. They acted very sad about it. See, one of them had seen me in the sergeant's car when I had drove it up to school. Although it was being reported as a runaway, people in the neighborhood had seen us. Now, the guy in the neighborhood was asking me about another guy in the neighborhood who people used to say, well, who do you like when they try to talk to me or try to do something. And I say, I got a crush on this particular guy. And so they went back to that particular guy and they said, hey, did you ever do something with it? What'd you do? You know what I'm saying? Did you hear about what happened and all that stuff? And so I felt some sort of kind of way, like, you know what I'm saying, it was unnecessary for them to go back and check to see who I was with or who I wasn't with. Now, the whole time, I really felt like maybe I was getting, like, not really mistreated, but kind of pinpointed out because I had already explained what I did and did not do. So why was they spreading this around or questioning what I was doing? You know what I'm saying? So it was more talk about your mom was on drugs and she's sleeping with guys that are, you know what I'm saying, they 19 and 20 and we kids, and she still go to McCarver and all this stuff. So this is going around the hilltop. This is all going to the elementary school. I believe I was like in the 6th grade at the time, about to go to the 7th grade or something like that. Now, everybody at the school had knew something to the degree that I was supposed to have run away, but this is like right before the summer. And so people started talking and they were like, yeah, she be up at Brown's. Now, Brown's is a local bar and grill in the community where everybody hung out at, and Brown's is located, it used to be called K Street, but it's MLK now today. And we used to all go up to Brown's. Now, there's a large family in the Ryans, and one of the Ryans worked in Brown's, and so she knew my mom, and I went to school with her kids, so she knew how old I was. But most of the time I would go to school and do my chores and then go up to behind Brown's and make some money, you know. And so I would sell crack. That was what she did back in the 80s. And so I would go behind Browns, I'd get my money, but I would never really be with anyone in particular, because kids my age didn't really know, and they didn't really do that. But this particular time I was with Cuckoo, who lived around the corner from me, and for the sake of this documentary, I'm going to refer to the other two girls that I was with as Quick in the Neck and Sticky Fingers. And so I was with Cuckoo, Quick in the Neck, and Sticky Fingers, and we was all together, and we were up at Brown's. And so while we was there, we had seen two dudes, and they had all red on, and they was trying to talk to me. And so I didn't think nothing of it, nonchalantly. He said he's from California and asked me if he liked the California Coolers. I mean, that's how young I was, but the next day we came back and it was more of these guys. So it was like maybe like about 6 or 7 of them. And so one of them was, smitten. So he kept trying to talk to me. And so we went into Brown's and we sat down and he ordered me a milkshake and I took a gulp of his strawberry zombie. And he was flashing their money, And so Miss Ryan, she says, now you're not supposed to be up in here, cause she's here now. I ain't just back here doing my little job, where she just turn a little head or whatever. But now I'm like inside of the grill side of it. Now these dudes came out of the bar side, cause we can't get into the bar side. But now they are parlaying. She's like, I'm gonna tell your mom, So I said, I'm about to leave, so I'm telling Quick in the Neck and Sticky Fingers and Cuckoo, I'm about to leave. I'll tell my mama. So I wasn't trying to get him there. So then the dude was like, you should come with me. And I said, well, I looked over and Quick in the Neck was like, come on, we with it, whatever, And so we ended up leaving. And we ended up going with them. Now, everybody at Brown's know where I stay at. Miss Ryan, all of them know who my mom is. And so we ended up drinking the milkshake, and after they finished their drink, we all left. And I don't know if we were all in the same car. I can't really remember if we were all in different cars or the same car, but needless to say, we left. And it was, I want to say at least 6 of them, maybe, bloods, They said they was from Inglewood, one said he's from Piru, and we all piled up and we drove. We went to the house, we started to the house, and they ended up taking us to Mark Twain Apartments, which is located off of 6 in Pearl in Tacoma. And so when we got to the Mark Twain Apartments, I remember going up the steps, and I remember being fucked up. When we got up to the steps, I remember saying something to someone, and I started throwing up. And the next day, Cuckoo says she's so sore, she's so hurt, she's so sore, and she ends up going to the hospital. And she was in the hospital for quite some time. She ended up going to Tacoma General Mary Bridges Children's Hospital. Now, none of us was over 14 at the time, I can tell you that for sure. And when we were there, I remember very little because I threw up and I blacked out. Now, we found out that Clown had found out, Bernard Houston had found out that somebody in the Brown house was in this videotape, and that they were running a train on her, and she was doing all kinds of stuff, and they were sure it was somebody at this Brown house, and they had talked about it so much that my uncle and his girlfriend got into it and got in an argument because he thought it was her. I remember Coach Mobley and his wife, the coach that coached the Little League and the Boys and Girls Club League. Him and his wife was fighting because dudes was trying to see who this girl was in the video. And so everything led right back to that porch. And it pretty much led right back to me. So, all the affiliations of if I did it, if I did not do it, it was always me, my involvement, and it seemed like I never really was a wimp, but it seemed like I was targeted. And so I didn't want to feel like maybe it was a setup or what have you, but it was going around. So now, the Bloods are looking to see when the next ball gonna drop, because they were all seen with us up at Browns, and the whole Hilltop area know about the tape, and they know that we're all underage, and so now the Bloods is wondering what's going on. So now Jerry Jackson, OG Yella, gets word, so he calls OG Hoover homie and says, hey, yeah, you know, they talk about this tape, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I heard about the tape, yeah, man, you know, they going on, they carrying on, yeah, I ain't seen it, I want to see it, yeah, I want to see it too. So he calls, I think one of my homies might have it. So you heard about the tape? So he calls up OG Watergate homie, he's like, yeah, homie, yeah, you heard about the tape? The OG Watergate homie like, what tape? They say, yeah, it's a tape going around, yeah, they run a train, they doing things, you know, the boy, he's like, oh, they're Inglewood, okay. So then he calls the Inglewood boys, and they like, oh, you heard about the tape? Now Yella's like, one? They're like, one? He's like, nah. So I have to turn that. Yella was saying it was one girl on the tape, and they was doing it to one girl, and I was saying, nah, it's two people in that tape, and they was asking Yella, did you see that tape? So when they called me down to the block, and the Watergate, OG Watergate homies like, yeah, you know they got this tape. So now all of them is over there, the Hoovers, the Watergates, the Bloods, everybody that's out on my porch, and they call me the ones that's supposed to be in the tape over. So when they get there, we see the tape, they see that I was only with one person, boom, it was two girls, and it wasn't me with all the other people. But now the tape is out, and the police is like, hey, you make your water state, because the tape's going to be distributed. My mom was like, ain't no way I'm going to sign my daughter a water state. So we ended up leaving. I ended up going to Chicago, Mississippi. I think I went to Mississippi for about a quarter or so, and then I ended up coming back up here to Tacoma, Washington, to the Hilltop. I get back to the Hilltop, it is in disarray. I'm looking at everybody on my porch there. Just anybody that I ever hung out with is just looking defeated. I'm going up to people's houses, and they tagged up and hit up all the houses, inside the houses. They got people's mamas just out on the corner, out, gone. They talking to people like they ain't people, and I'm looking like, are you for real right now? And it's like everybody in my neighborhood was second-class citizens to what was going on. Like, it was out of their control. They ain't never seen nothing like this. Now, I'm not like bragging or nothing, but like You from Mississippi, you from Chicago, and you from cities and slums and stuff. You ain't seen slums, so I wasn't so surprised and so shocked. But Bernard is mad because this tape, the tape of the blood, this tape is like everywhere. So I'm letting Bernard know, yeah, it's a real problem. I got back here, and I've been to Chicago, Mississippi, and I went back in the pager shop, and I seen the tape. What? I'm like, what? In the middle of Mississippi? Now, mind you, this is a VCR tape. There's no AOL. There's no internet. There's no Bluetooth. And this tape has gotten all the way pretty much around the United States, around the world. And it was like less than 12 months. It was like, wow, you know. And so now the Bloods is pretty much out of the picture because none of my neighborhood homies is cool with that. And so they pretty much, it's like people's court. They got fronted with all the other people. And so when they called me over before I was like, you know, all y'all can kiss my ass, you know. At the end of the day, they videotaped some little girls, and you had to videotape it too. So he said, if you were a girl, why was you at the bar and girl? Hey, a little girl at the bar and the girl is a little girl at the bar and girl. A little girl on the videotape intoxicated is a little girl on the videotape intoxicated. But nevertheless, the videotape was out there, and it was out there. What can you do, you know? I didn't press charges. I didn't testify. I don't know if someone else did. I don't know if Sticky Fingers did. I don't know if Quicker Than They did. I don't know if Cuckoo did. You know? But at this point, Bernard is like, let's try it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't grow up. I ain't grow up. I'm not the same little girl. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? We can tear our own community up. My mama's been drugs all her life. Ain't nobody else's houses look like this. You know what I'm saying? This ain't how you do it. So we turned up. It was Hill Top. From that point, it was HTC Hill Top. It was born right then and there. So we came up with official gear. It's like, we finna get geared up. We finna set up the perimeters. From 8th to 23rd Street, anything that come off Sprague, pretty much we built the Sprague X. Anything that's coming and going on this hill, we gonna know about. We know our own community. We know who smokes crack, so we can take care of them. We'll sell it to them. We ain't gonna beat them up and tear them down if they ain't trying to get beat up and tore down. So we pretty much regulated the community. We ended up getting our own supply. You know what I'm saying? It was HTC. They shipped in different things that we needed specifically for us. Straps. We had hooked up on all kinds of, as far as drugs, you know, the Cubans were out, and they tried to like literally cut me out of this deal because of this tape with the Bloods. And so I was like, I was with one person, so then pretty soon the tape became such a big ordeal that everybody wanted to see it with their own eyes because they knew us and they knew who was going to be who, if it was me, if it was Sticky Fingers, if it was Quicker Than That, if it was Cuckoo. So it was like everybody was obsessed with this tape. Here I am now. It's like it's HTC. So I'm looking at OG Clown, Bernard. I'm looking at OG Sight, Michael, like, what's up? You know, OG Looney. You know, I'm like, what's up, Dwayne? What's up? These are people that I grew up with, and I'm like, you know, let's be real. So Little Looney gets word that pretty much OGL was trying to cut me out, and they're like, what? So OGL's trying to cut me out. He gets word back to OG Clown and OG Sight that he recruited him as Big Looney Dwayne Hill's little lope. But the whole time when we started HTC from the get, me and Clown came together. Then Clown told Psych, and then Clown told OG Looney, he was in Green Hill at the time. You know what I'm saying? And he said if I was with it, that he was with it. And then he went to Yella, because Yella was acting like he was with it. You know, when he seen the tape. But what Yella was really doing was ringing my name, trying to make me look bad, so that Yella can take my tone, so that he could be the leader of HTC. You know what I'm saying? That's what was really going on. He was going to these people acting like what do they know? He was really picking and was really trying to say that, hey, we don't want no girl over no HTC. If she's on the tapes and all that, how somebody gonna take us serious? I'm like, wait a minute. If you really knew what it was all about, that's why I started HTC, because of the tape. Hill Top Crip Gang. If you really knew what it was about, that's what it was about. Taking back my community. I said, what do you mean? I've already set the parameters. You know what I'm saying? I told you I showed you how to do this. I laced them up. They've been on my porch. What do you mean? I laced them up so they never trip. What do you mean? I spiked the punch. What do you mean? I said, look, I showed them how to go from balls. That's right. From balls to quacks to halves to hoes to birds. And he's like, well, she's the only one. Are you sure? Because they said it's the girl at the brown house. I'm really like, look, we know ARDRETTA. You know what I'm saying? Clowns like, I know her since elementary, since McCarver, since the talent show. That ain't her on that tape. That's not her on that tape. And the OG Looney is like, yeah, and I heard the police came to her door, whoop-de-whoop-whoop. But see, the OG Watergate homie already seen that I was only with one person. Clown seen that I was only with one person. So I was like, this is Hilltop right now. I'm about to turn up right now. So I told the OG Watergate owner, I said, it's Hilltop right now. I'm about to get my money. See what I'm saying? If you can't have no money up here, because this is my money. This is my town. Matter of fact, I came for money. So I see this is a setup in the country anyway. My family came for money. I said, this is Hilltop right now. So, true coats, official gear, I carry 2 guns. I said, yeah, they know about Annie Oakley. Stop playing. One for the girls and one for the guys, in case you're confused. That's how you gotta do it. So it was something, not for a front and not for a show, but it was something for real. You know what I'm saying? So, Dog Gay, you know what I'm saying? A-Love, you know, Ken Lope, Lil KB, they ain't all sat on my porch. You know what I'm saying? They ain't all sat on my porch. And then Lil KB already knew who I had a crush on. But nevertheless, I started HTC. So why would OG Yella want to have Little Clown, Catfish, OG Clown, and not let anybody know the truth about Hilltop Crip? I mean, reality. I gave OG Clown and OG Psych their name from Queen of the Hill, because we played King of the Hill until they turned it into Queen of the Hill. You see what I'm saying? ARDRETTA's Queen of the Hill. Michael Jeter's is OG Psych. Bernard Houston's OG Clown. So how are we gonna catfish OGs with Little Oaks, Tiny Oaks, and Baby Oaks? I need to know that. It didn't make no sense to me. But if OG Yella really felt like he had to go through so many extremes to do what he did, when really people lost vision of what HTC was about, or for those people that had a grasp of vision, you know what I'm saying? I went to the neighborhood people and the homies in the neighborhood and said, look, this is what it is, this is why we doing it, this is why we doing it, is you with it? Some people said yes, some people said no, some people had to think about it, some people had to follow somebody else. Some people had to see, well, let me see what he gonna say, let me see what they gonna say. The reality is that I informed all. They were well informed. You know what I'm saying? I set the parameters to this reality. You know what I'm saying? They said, where are the parameters? I said from 8 to 23rd. Everything that come off is Sprag. You know what I'm saying? I created allies with other LA Crips. You know what I'm saying? Hip Hop Crip Gang is infamous for what? For why? Because it ain't never been done like that. Because LA Bloods and Crips went all around the world. You had people in Idaho screaming Rolling 60s. You had people down in Nevada screaming Hoover. He's like, we ain't finna let you put Hoover on my mama's walls, and you sitting right here on the hilltop. Hilltop? Stop playing. That's why I was infamous, because nothing had ever been done like that. We took our community back. That's what HTC was about. It was about saying, oh, you ain't finna down me, because I ain't down, and I'll turn up. Hilltop. And so when people forget what this is really all about, it's a revolution in progress. That's what it was about. And so we don't never want to lose focus of that. But you know, I appreciate OG Yella, because OG Yella kept HTC up. It kept it breathing. This is something that was for real and that was for true. Restoration and progress. Restoration and progress, y'all. Originals, OG Clown, OG Sight, OG Looney, OG Yella, and of course Queen of the Hill. You can't cut me out. So at the end of the day, this point, OG Clown is looking disturbed. He comes to me and he's like, and I'm like, yeah, right. See, because if you was ever kicking it with OG Yella before HTC and he felt like he was over you, then he feels like he's over you now. But it ain't about him feeling like he was over you, because HTC is Hilltop Crip. And that's why I felt like a lot of that was going on. You know, I felt like OG Clown felt like he had an ally. They both are biracial, you know what I'm saying? He really felt like he had to bring OG Yella in. Well, really, he really didn't have to bring OG Yella in. See, I ain't make no favors out of it. I went to whoever and said, hey, who, cause I'ma need all y'all. If you know what's up. If you don't know what's up, then please stay out the way. Cause this is HTC Hilltop Crip. So then OG started telling people that, hey, that's Jeter Street. We ain't gonna even mention her. And he said, but it's two people. It's not one person. That's what Lil Looney, all the guys are saying to him. And so now OG Yella's like, Yellow or ARDRETTA. He's pretty much saying that to OG Clown. So then I got real pissed off. I had to turn up. They tried to cut me out the picture. For real, literally. What? That's the Bashi. They try to cut me out the picture. The Queen of the Hill. Ain't that some shit? See, I remember when I was like in the 4th grade, Mr. Dabashi, he came to me, he said, Mr. Dabashi, he's from the Middle East, he said, this community don't understand how great you are. And one day, you'll run this whole entire world. That's what Mr. Dabashi said to me. Now, everybody knows we stay out front of the Dabashis all day and night and got off. The only little bit of respect I had for the homies at that point is because somebody from outside of the hood came down beefing, talking crazy, a man in a bar, and when the dude got out the car, I fought the dude. Not his bitch, I fought the dude. Then the nigga ran back to his car and got a monkey wrench and hit me in the face. That's right, the nigga got up off the ground, ran to his car, got a monkey wrench, and hit me in the face. I didn't say a regular wrench. Yeah, dudes know what I'm talking about. I'm like, the only respect I do have is that them niggas stomped that boy out. He was all on top of him. I was like, we ain't gonna want to hate him. Not right now. See, what it is, it's about community restoration. And we can't have things done just in vain, right? So, a couple days pass, and I see clowns real down. Clown got a black eye. What's going on? Who's beefing? Clown got a black eye. And he's like, OG Clown's like, I had to get him up. OG Clown is murdered by Bloods on 23rd Street. I've known him ever since McCarver Elementary talent show. Love of my life. He had a cold case, and his killers were convicted 2013. Looney passed away, I believe, in 1996 or 97. They said that they believe he committed suicide. Some people don't believe that. A lot of people were disappointed because I was not in town for his funeral, because Looney represented me the whole while. Always represented me as an OG, as a big homie, as a founder of Hill Top Crip. OG Yella passed away, I believe, in 2000 and maybe 2015. He had a huge funeral. Lots of people turned out. I believe they gave him, they adopted a street on 23rd Street, and they named it after him. And then OG Psych passed away 2023, I believe, of natural causes. There's a song that was recorded for him called Lifetime. And this is the story of how Hilltop Crips were born. Tacoma, Washington. My name is ARDRETTA Jones, Queen of the Hill. And when I was 10, I carried a gun.